Okay guys, so today is November the 12th, Thursday, 2020, and it is the second week of my Art Hibernation, and so far so good. I feel like it's been a pretty good success. I've gotten a lot of stuff on the list that I wanted to get done, and so I'm really happy about that. I got a whole lot done on my studio. I am super excited with how it's turning out. So this week I had a really good friend come over and we worked on the far side of the studio where I wanted to put up the barnwood, and man, like, not only did we get the barnwood up super fast, like, he's a pro at that, man. I do love my little friend, or my big friend. He's actually like 6'4". So like, not only did we get it up super fast, but like, it turned out like way better than I even thought it would. Like, it looks so good with the barnwood. Oh my gosh. So I'm super excited to have that done, and then also put barnwood up on the far side of the wall. So I finally decided, originally I didn't know what to do on that far side. I was like, maybe I'll put up some art, maybe I'll do a mural, I don't know exactly. And then finally I was like, you know what, I wanted to like be cohesive, so I was like, I want to go ahead and stick barnwood up there too. But now that we've finished that far wall up in the studio, my barnwood supply pile is very small. So I don't know how I'm going to finish that other side. So that's kind of a hiccup in the plan. Oh my gosh, this silly little fly. These flies, man. So I'm not sure what to do about that. I ended up using a lot of timber that was lumbered from the farm. So some black walnut that my dad had lumbered a while back. So I ended up like peppering some of that in with the barnwood to help like stretch it out, and it still didn't quite stretch it out enough. So I was like, okay, so next week I'm hoping to do the other side of the wall. I need to figure out how to get more wood. I'm like, so like, do I just like go down a country road and see a barn that has fallen over that has lots of barnwood, and like go ask the owners like, hey, can I like take some of your barnwood? I don't know. I guess that's an adventure for next week. So we'll see what happens there. Also, like this week, I went to Lowe's and I kind of like did some looking at like the pricing on certain things. So for like lighting, so my dad and me have been talking about what kind of lighting to put up there, and of course, you know, I want to have all sorts of different lighting, mood lighting, and like actually like harsh lighting to like light the studio, to be able to see what I'm working on. And so like so my dad has been talking about the railing lighting. So it's like light fixtures that like swivel and you can point around to wherever, but they also move on the rail, so you can like move them along and like point them, and there's like usually like 3 or 4 on a rail. So I did some pricing on that, on some of those, and they're not too bad, so I might be ending up getting about 2 of those, although I really do want them to be on separate light circuits, so I don't know how that's gonna work out. I'll have to see. And then I got some paint, so I bought a whole bunch of paint for painting some of the walls. I got the paint to paint the far side of the other side of the studio for the barnwood, because I had run out of the other paint. And then also one funny thing. So my grandma was like, hey, I heard, you know, you're working on your studio. I'd love to come see it. I was like, well, it's not that impressive yet. So last week she was like, oh, I don't care, I'm coming. I'm like, okay. And so she came, and then she saw she like walked up to the stairs to see the studio. And so she was walking up the stairs, and she's like, honey, you need a stair rail. I was like, a stair rail? She's like, yeah, you know, you have no stair rail. I'm like, oh, I've never even thought about that. So I was like, okay, I'll add that to the budget. So like now I'm like trying to keep an eye out for a stair rail. I think I need like 14 foot. Like, that's something I would never thought about getting. So I'm glad like my grandma opened my eyes to that. So I went to Lowe's. All they had was oak. They're like $99 for 12 foot. I was like, oh, I'm not doing that. So I'm gonna still keep an eye out for some, maybe like some pine or something. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all I got done this week on the studio. Oh, also some yellow lights. So these yellow lights, they have, so they're kind of like, they're the kind of lights that are in like a warehouse, and when a semi truck backs up into the warehouse to drop stuff off, they use these lights to point into the semi truck to see when they unload. And so my dad ended up buying these at an auction, but a few of them are not in the best of shape. So there was this one that was like completely smashed in. I was like, well, some sort of semi truck must have smashed right into that one. And so I was like, well, I mean, there's 5 of them. I would really prefer to use them all if I can. Like, my dad bought them a long time ago. He's not using them. He gave them to me to use. So I was like, can I, like, how do I fix that? And there was like 2 of them. One was in super bad shape, just completely smashed in. And so I ended up getting like a rubber mallet and then using a like a log from the wood pile, and I stuck it up on top of the piece, and I was like hammering around it. It took me probably like maybe like 40 minutes, but hey, like I got it to pop right back out, and it's almost back to its former glory. That light's definitely gonna have lots of character. Anyway, so I mean, we tested them all. They all work. So I'm super excited about that. And they're free. So that adds to my to the better part of my budget. And then okay, so a side project that we're working on. So my cabin, which was my old studio / my bedroom, it has, you know, as I mentioned before, it has some leaks, and it seriously needed like a paint job. Some of the wood was starting to buckle a little bit, where it had just gotten just so dried out and like exposed to the weather. So I ended up taping it all up with painter's tape, and then my dad sprayed it with his fancy little spray machine thing, and bam, like it looks like a whole new cabin. Like I'm so impressed with how amazing it looks now. And then I ended up doing a little bit of staining around the wood part of it to help protect it. And then we're planning on putting a roof on it too. So that was one thing we did this week, was like get an estimate for the roofing on that. And I actually have the color that we're going to get right here. It's like a kind of old-fashioned kind of silver kind of color. So I'm really excited about that. I think it's going to look really good with that blue color that we painted the cabin. So that's something really, really exciting. Let's see. The inside of the cabin, I probably won't be doing any of that until after the holidays. So my projected plan as of right now is that I plan to have the studio done, moved in, and settled by the end of the holidays. So like turn of the new year. So that's my projected plan. I don't know if it'll actually happen or not. We'll see. Yeah, I think that's about all that I have to say for the most part. I've been trying to do a daily routine so that I can kind of like have like a schedule, because when you're like working like solo and you're like making your own goals, sometimes you can just get kind of lazy, like I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. There's so much stuff to do. So pretty much every day I try to make a to-do list of sorts, and then of course, you know, I'm still working part-time with client work too, so that actually does take a lot of my time. And one thing I'm starting to do is you know, when I'm freelancing, you know, pretty much I'm working on my computer, I'm working on my iPad, and I'm you know, creating art for people, and you know, I'm sitting. And so I was like, you know, I need to like kind of shake it up a little bit. So I actually set a timer for an hour. I sit down and I work for a while, and then when the timer goes off, I'm like, okay. So I get up and I'm like, okay, so let's do something on the to-do list. So I'll like pick something on the to-do list and I'll go out and do it and set a timer for an hour, and then I'll go and do it. And then when the timer goes off, I'll come back and sit for another hour, and I'll do client work. And that's actually been working really well, because like I go out, I get my energy, you know, like I get like all energized. I go, you know, I'm usually like to-do list, you know, I'm like making something, working on something, gathering things, cleaning something, you know, I'm like, you know, on my feet. And then when I'm working on client stuff, you know, I'm sitting. And so that's actually been a super awesome strategy. And sometimes I'll like stick in like 15 minutes of doing something fun, like maybe like playing on the guitar, or I don't know, something that I like to do. Or maybe it's something like I want to get better at, maybe like trying to learn some Spanish, like go on Duolingo for 5 minutes, and just like something that's, I guess, betters myself, but it's also, I consider it fun. So that's been working really good. Actually, I'm super excited about how that's been going. And then also, so like one thing I've been learning this week, what is been like, just kind of like, of course, like along with the guidelines of the Art Hibernation, slowing down, resting, and also trying to be like kind of playful or kind of childlike, I guess. So I've been like purposely trying to do things like, it's like, okay, so like when I was a kid living on the farm here, what were some things that I did for fun. And so I've been like purposely trying to like do some childlike things, like not immature things, but just playful things. And so like climbing a tree, rolling in the leaves. I made a leaf angel in the leaves, and by the way, though, that's not as comfortable as making a snow angel, I've discovered. There was like a stick poking my side. I was like, ow! That's not comfortable. And then like I had to like shake off all the leaves because they're all like clinging to me. I was like, man. Just climbing on stuff. I don't know. That's something I've always enjoyed doing, is climbing on things. That's probably why my nickname is Squirrel. Always part of it. Yeah, so it's been really cool doing that. I feel like being playful is like a really, at least for me anyway, is like it's like a key ingredient to like the creative flow. So I feel like whenever I'm just playful, I'm just like, wee, you know, I just laugh at myself. I don't know. I was like, this is so silly. I'm an adult and I'm doing this silly little playful thing that a kid would do. And so I was like, man, sometimes I feel kind of jealous of kids because like they have excuses to do these funny, playful things, and then us adults, you know, like we're an adult, so we don't have an excuse to do silly things. But I was like, oh, this is so freeing. I don't know. But I thought it'd be kind of cool to like if you all would be into it, to like maybe do something playful this week. So like, for example, like do a funny little jig in the mall or something, or go climb a tree, and I don't know, just something kind of fun and playful, maybe something that you haven't done since you were a kid, and just kind of shake some things up, and then like kind of focus on how did that make you feel. Like, did you feel kind of, did it like make you laugh at yourself, or did you feel like it's just more freer, I guess, and then kind of like relate to how that could help you with your creative flow. I don't know. So that's kind of like a thought that I had to like maybe challenge you guys to try to do. And also, I want to know, like, if you guys do it, like, comment below about how it went. It's like, I want to know how it goes. So yeah, so that's something interactive you can try to do if you feel like it, if you feel extra want to challenge yourself maybe. Yeah, so I think that's all I have to say really this week. Let's see, daily routine, major project, side project. Yeah, all right, so next week is the 3rd week of my Art Hibernation, and I still have like 23 more weeks to go. That's quite a ways. As of right now, like I feel like it's going really well. Like I feel like I'm gonna be able to reach my goals as of right now anyway, besides the silly barnwood thing, which might delay me, but I mean, like, it's not too bad. And I've been doing daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, so those are really helpful to have too. Yeah, so stay tuned for the next one, guys. I'm hoping to be releasing everything Friday at tea time, which is 3 o'clock Central Time. Anyway, you guys take care and have fun being playful this week.